In the quiet town of Willow Creek, Ohio, nothing bad ever seemed to happen. Families left their doors unlocked, neighbors waved across their lawns, and the local police force handled little more than bar fights and traffic stops. But in the fall of 1998, that peace shattered. On a foggy October morning, a jogger discovered the body of a young woman near the riverbank. She was just 22 years old, a college student who had disappeared 2 nights earlier after leaving a friend's house. Her body showed no signs of robbery, no struggle, just a single, precise wound to the chest. The town was shaken, but many brushed it off as an isolated tragedy. That changed 2 weeks later. A local mother of 3 was found in her own home, the same type of wound, the same eerie precision. Nothing stolen, no forced entry, no DNA left behind. Now the whispers began. People said a serial killer had arrived in Willow Creek. Parents kept their kids inside. Women no longer walked alone at night. And behind closed doors, families started locking doors for the very first time. The police called it an ongoing investigation, but inside the department, panic was growing. Because the killer left no trace. No fingerprints, no footprints, no fibers. Nothing. It was almost as if he was a ghost. And the scariest part? Both women had been deeply involved in the community. Churchgoers, volunteers, people everyone trusted. Which meant the killer wasn't some stranger drifting through town. He was someone who already lived among them. By the winter of 1998, Willow Creek was no longer the peaceful town it had once been. The streets emptied at sundown, church pews grew thin, and every creak of the floorboards at night sent chills down spines. The killer had struck 4 times in just 3 months. Each victim a woman. Each death the same single surgical wound. And each time not a single shred of evidence was left behind. Detectives worked around the clock. They formed task forces, consulted FBI profilers, even brought in dogs to track scents. But the trail always ended the same way nowhere. Theories began to spread like wildfire. Some said it was a drifter, others whispered about a cult, and many believed it had to be someone with medical training. The wound was too precise, too clean. But one detail stood out: all of the victims had recently attended the same Sunday Mass at St. Paul's Church. A coincidence? Maybe. But for investigators, it was the first real thread to pull. The town's priest, Father Daniel Moore, a kind and well-respected man, allowed police to question parishioners. They interviewed dozens of people, combed through church logs, and even ran background checks on volunteers. Still, nothing. Meanwhile, the killer grew bolder. On New Year's Eve, just as the clock struck midnight, a 5th victim was discovered, this time in the church parking lot itself. A young schoolteacher, found slumped against her car, the same signature wound. Panic turned into terror. Reporters swarmed the town, calling it the Willow Creek slasher case. National news stations ran nightly updates. And while the community grieved, the killer seemed to vanish into the background, watching. Waiting. But what no one knew, not the police, not the families, not even the FBI, was that the killer wasn't a drifter, wasn't some faceless stranger. He was someone the town trusted most. Someone who stood in front of them week after week, offering guidance, comfort, and even prayers. By early 1999, the case had gone cold. No new leads, no suspects, just a trail of bodies and unanswered questions. Until one night, a break came by accident. A rookie officer was reviewing hours of old security footage from around town when he noticed something strange. In the background of a gas station camera, just blocks from where the 3rd victim vanished, was a familiar car. A black Chevy Impala. Registered not to some drifter, but to Father Daniel Moore, the town's beloved priest. At first, detectives refused to believe it. Father Moore was a pillar of the community. He baptized their children, blessed their weddings, buried their dead. He was trusted by everyone. But the deeper they dug, the darker it got. Phone records placed him near each crime scene. Witnesses remembered seeing him walking late at night. And in the basement of his rectory, investigators found a locked room. Inside were news clippings of every murder, a collection of women's jewelry, and a set of surgical knives meticulously cleaned. The evidence was undeniable. When Father Moore was finally arrested, the town stood in silence. Some wept, others raged, but all felt the same chill. The killer they feared had been standing at the pulpit every Sunday, looking them in the eye, preaching salvation while plotting death. In court, he never confessed. He simply smiled. Some jurors swore they heard him whisper, "El was cleansing them." He was sentenced to life without parole. But even now, years later, people in Willow Creek don't feel safe. Because sometimes, the real monsters don't hide in the shadows. They hide in plain sight. They smile at you, shake your hand, and earn your trust. All while planning their next move. And the scariest part? No one knows if Father Moore acted alone. If this story gave you chills, imagine what other secrets are hiding in small towns just like Willow Creek. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more chilling true crime stories, and hit the bell icon so you never miss the next tale that might just keep you up at night. Thanks for watching.